And TMX are on a bit of a save here. So this is gonna possibly look like a 10-8 scoreline. I'm predicting.
Possibly. I don't know. It's also one of those hard assumptions because we have seen, you know, save rounds being, you know, one of those rounds where Team X or SLR were able to take back. And let's not forget, I mean, the Showstopper is kind of one of those eco-round weapons that could assist, and that's a free pick in the hands of Team X. They can play with that. Now they're able to get another, and like I just said, even though it's one of those situations where there's a save round, everybody just completely downed on SLR, and Team X is just utilizing all of this util. If that initial pick hadn't come through with that Showstopper, I honestly don't think everything would have worked the way that it did, especially with everybody trying to back off and play for that retake, but losing that one player just kind of created havoc on the site. And you can see now Arrow pushing up and getting caught through as Ayla is going to be there to clear and keep the site on lockdown.
And they use the raise utility so well. MDC, and now they're going onto this B site once again. It's working for them. But it's interesting to see this adaptation. Instead of MDC coming from Arcade, she's gonna be with the rest of the team on B main.
Yeah, but here, I mean, trying to get at least as many old orbs as possible to use this trail, my apologies, this rolling thunder. But let's not forget, I mean, we have so many ultimates here for SLR. We have this tour de force, we have the cosmic divide, anything you name it, that's exactly what SLR has. And you can see they're going to utilize the one from Fawn. Fawn is going to go down, but that's still not going to be a detriment. We do have that ultimate still completely being used, and now it's the move up. You can see Taro attempting the picks, going to have to change the weaponry here. Phantom in the hands, but this is dangerous. Would be a little bit more careful here. Hart is trying to close them right into tower to gain ground, but it's Zayla left alive, and perfect play. Taro is going to peek to try to help Hart out, and Hart is going to clean up the mess here for SLR. 9-9, back and forth, over and over again.
He placed. This is what you love to see from Game Changers.
It's the individual plays, you know, the element of surprise. And the very close matchups, you know. This in particular, honestly, was well thought out. I feel like we definitely thought that this was going to be a close game as well. I definitely didn't think this would have been a stomp with the way things are going with the last two maps, but Team X have been trying to go for these different momentums. Now it's going to be a fast-paced one, and they're actually going to take it. This works out so perfectly because now that rotation hasn't even come through yet. We're going to have that flank come around, and let's not forget, Taro has the operator. So here, going to have to play with the breach flashes. Chobo is going to have to lead the way, but no, the corner completely being unwatched, and it's Azayla taken down as well. The operator not going to be deemed worthy this time around, but we could still see it. SLR in a 1v1 situation, and CC is going to pull out just this Viper's Pit. I mean, perfect. Tons and tons of the site, completely under control of CC. Now all Leah can do is try to get this Cosmic Divide down, attempt to get the defusal, but it's unfortunate because not really knowing the wraparound is happening, and honestly a spray down, all that's needed. CC with the win here for Team X.
Now, having that combination of MDC on the raise, using the satchels along with the flashpoints, clearing out sight. Team X are doing so well at this right now. They've had the maps to warm this all up, and it's like, it's just a well-oiled machine from both teams.
Most definitely here. Chobo does have this rolling thunder. Honestly, if Chobo pulls it out right now, it might just be over for SLR within this round. They might lose 3 players down in tower. And that's also dangerous in itself. I think it would be a good investment to utilize this, especially on the save round, to try to ensure that you can take it. And no, the Rolling Thunder comes out a little bit too late. That's already 3 players down just because Medici was able to take it. And now, I mean, SLR having the lower numbers, what could have been a perfect round, a little bit too late on the execution. Now that's leaving SLR having to fight back. The plant could come down, but once again, I mean, the saves, the orbital strike, the investments of this util, and now it's Taro attempting to keep it. That's the one, that's the second, but the defusal a little bit too late. And it cannot happen here for SLR.
7-9 now. The economy is all in the favor of TMX, and what an absolute opener from Medici. Like, keep her on the raise. Keep her on the raise, because she is so good at it.
I mean, it was a Red Bull clutch being able to be brought out, and that doesn't happen often. That's something that you know you have to have complete control over. You have to know how to keep it together. And honestly, it was the timing that they were able to play with. And you can see now TMX kind of gaining that momentum once again. And it's SLR attempting it once more. But it is somewhat more towards SLR this time around. I mean, they're not going to want TMX to take that match point, but it's getting quieter. Now TMX just trying to figure out, you know, the A site is pretty much preoccupied, but can we try to wrap around here?
Yeah, how do they really win this 1v2 out? Controller is still alive. Leah on the side of Soler to really hold down the sites, and it looks like they are just going to be grouping together and just playing for that retake, and the numbers advantage will be in their hand. There's no util for both Azalea and Mo doesn't have any util, but Azalea does have that rendezvous, does have the headhunter, but how do you really hold the post plant with just a rendezvous in hand?
It's not very easy. I mean, you could definitely take some aggressive angle, try to take those picks down, but obviously you need to TP at some point. But no, I don't know if this is actually the best situation. Actually, it works out somewhat well, the damage through, but SLR able to, in reality, just close it off. It is a 4-woman push, kind of just going on to the site. So against 2 players trying to hold it with their lives, I don't know how well that's going to work out. It honestly is just a 4v2 at that point. Honestly, I mean, within this round, it is honestly, I wouldn't say a weird buy for SLR. They do have that tour de force, so they will play with that. They will revolve, you know, some of their plays around allowing Taro to shine. They're going to leave Taro on the A site, playing deep down in main here. But B site, you have majority of players splitting, and that's something that TMX does consistently. They split their players up. They try to give this buddy system down so that they can at least have, you know, some sort of control on both sides of these sites. We can see here Chobo's not letting that happen, is trying to attempt that push forth, and that first pick down, that's going to be detrimental because now that CC's down as well, that is going to be Medici. No more of that damage util, CC down, so no more of that Viper util. They're going to have to rely on Mo to give those smokes out, and they're going to have to be diligent with it because 46 seconds left. The clock is ticking. Not a lot of time here. And we can see as Chobo waits, still having this util to play with, isn't going to utilize it. I'm hoping a flash comes through before the peak. We are going to have that Viper's wall up. That's going to allow SLR to take more of an aggressive angle, attempt it.
Are they saving this?
Waiting for the perfect moment. The wall is going to go down, the wraparound might happen, and it's Azalea able to take that. The trade-offs, perfect. We have at least Soph. Could pick out from any arrangement of weaponry that Soph might want, but also the Rolling Thunder. There, it's the 10 seconds. You can't necessarily use that ultimate at this point in time, and it is going to be another win for SLR, bringing it back once again. I feel like back and forth, these teams are just adapting to each other perfectly and just knowing how to play whenever something changes from TMX or something changes from SLR.
Yeah, as well.
I mean, they have the Spectres. CC's probably just like, oh, well, I can run it down. I pretty much have it going. But Soph, even though this is an awkward buy, we still have that Rolling Thunder. So that's there for that insurance. definitely could utilize that. Maybe giving them the site. I mean, you can see they're kind of playing on the back corners. They're playing on the same side of A. They feel like it's going to happen. And just as it does, I mean, Heart knows they're rushing up. And actually, it is going to be a win from Heart, but it didn't seem like it would. Tons and tons of players are actually attempting to get onto the site, but completely shut down on the choke. It's Soph left alone, not going to use that ultimate. That Rolling Thunder completely still in the back pocket for the next round. Oh, beautiful from Soph. Able to hit one. Now it's a 2v1, but 6 health left. I mean, you gotta hit the one taps here. It's one mistake and you're done, and the mistake was leaving.
The smoke's down in time, and then all the Viper util was shut down as well. And my god, that was so well done from Fawn, and that was a bit of a compositional diff that we got to see there from SLR. That may be the reason why they go into these qualifiers.
And you can tell Terra wants to close it off, because do you see that operator in their hands? They are a force to be reckoned with, but actually perfect for TMX because they have been saving this Rolling Thunder. But in replacement, Chobo has been saving theirs as well, so the retake could come just as strong, and this is one of the dangers here. I mean, they know that there is, in fact, that Rolling Thunder, so this is perfect. TMX backs off, knowing that the ultimates are there, and they're not going to take it. But Heart, having just the Viper's Pit alone is actually going to be upsetting in itself, because that Viper's Pit could come out. It could be one of those moments where they have majority of the site, and they're going to whip that out pretty soon, as we might see it. It does seem like, I mean, majority of the site is going to be completely held down by SLR. Mo and Medici attempting to take it down together, but it's not going to happen. Now it's the 1v2. Taro. If the Viper's Pit had just been settled down, this is the last round regardless. It might have actually been able to gain more ground.